Sports Worldwide is brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
These two gentlemen of the game have been appointed to lead Usuthu. Well, one thing I can tell you is that the phenomenon itself is not entirely new in the domestic football, but there has been a spike in the co-coaches trend in the Premier Soccer League in recent years. Whilst it also backfired for others, some have also achieved incredible success with two gaffers at the helm. And they, I'm talking about AmaZulu here, are certainly no strangers to being guided by homegrown tacticians sharing the coaching title. Now, previously, we had seen Benny McCarthy. He was there as the head coach. Belenum Veta was the assistant to him before, they moved on with life. Now, this time they roped in two midfield talents during their heydays on the football field, Zwane as well as Vusumuzi Vilakazi. Now, these two gentlemen of the game have been appointed to lead Usuthu, taking over from Pablo Franco Martin, who was dismissed after losing all of the opening 3 games in the league this season. Now, 10-1-1 as well as Ganu are tasked with revitalizing the Durban-based outfit, and hey, they'll tell us in their own words how they plan to go about it. So, I don't know. Who do we start with here? Vusi Vilakazi, do you welcome the tourist to KZN, or does the tourist welcome you?
No, he's welcome. He's welcome, and you can start with him.
That's a quick through pass, man. I told you I'm dealing with midfielders here, so their tactics on the field can be determined tonight. Babu Zwane, Manget, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us, Rob.
Hey, what's the feeling like? It's been what now? How many days since you've been down here?
I think I arrived here on, Friday morning. Yeah, Friday morning.
Friday. Yeah. I saw a warm welcome. AmaZulu welcomes always very, very traditional. They come with nicknames to their coaches, but you guys already have nicknames from your playing days, so you don't need a Jimpi, you don't need anything like that. You know exactly.
Yes,
on top of the ones.
On top of the ones.
Who's who now? What are the additional nicknames? Umpiake.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, those are the names, Rob, from the president. Obviously, he's not around, he's overseas, so I think that's why people are not aware. But when I was looking at his statuses and I saw that he said, I'm Umpiak, and then this one is Pagimpi.
Umpiak and Pagimpi. Oh, so everything has to do with the war.
It's a war.
It's a war.
Yeah.
Hey.
Even in our welcome here, we got indictments list. He is a killer.
Yes.
So, straight with
you have to, though, because when you're 16th on the table, it's a big war. Either way, whichever way you look at it, it is a massive war. Are you guys ready? Zwane, are you ready?
Most definitely, Rob. Most definitely. There is no doubt about it. I think we've got what it takes. I believe Coach Ganu, he's been there.
Mm-hmm.
He's got experience, has coached, other teams before, AmaZulu. So there is no doubt of yours. They have been at Chiefs, for many, many years.
24 years.
Yeah. So, yeah, we've got what it takes.
Is this a strange place to be? Is this a strange opportunity? Because 24 years is a lifetime. 24 years, there are guys who are playing in the Euros that were not even born, but they were now superstars in the Euro Champs. It's a lifetime. How difficult or unnerving was it for you to make that decision to say, you know what, guys, after all these years, and I've really been an assistant, a coach, in the senior academy, I've gone there to be the senior coach. I've been an assistant. Now I get to be a co-coach. How difficult was it to make that primary decision to say you're stepping out of the village?
Very difficult, Rob. But obviously, most of the time, I usually, consult, the relevant people. I gave my mom a call, just to check how she feels and how she thinks about it. And I know she's the one that, gives, guidance most of the time. But that was just after I'd already, had a conversation with the sporting director at Kaizer Chiefs and the team agreed as well that maybe if I think I should maybe go out and grow, just for my personal growth, that would be important as well. So then I took advantage of that. I felt, yes, I've been there as much as it was difficult, but I needed to grow, and I was ready actually. I'll tell you why. When you are a football, I would say when you are not only a football coach, but when you are, in football, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I've been overseas as a player. I did not plan, but it happened that I found myself there. And I knew as well that when I decided to be a coach, that I'll be moving, The only thing that maybe disturbed me a little bit was leaving my kids, behind, because we've been very, very close, and I've been with them, through thick and thin, and been very close as well, for the fact that most all these years I've been around, Joburg.
Sure.
Yes, but I told them, I said, listen, it's time for growth now. You're on your own, so you must learn to survive as well without me being around.
Yeah. I mean, a difficult pill to swallow. That's a journey of coaches. And you sit next to somebody here who is as young, but has also traveled in places like Richards Bay. He's gone to Abotshipa United. He's come back home again. Just the collective experience, I think, is what you guys bring into the party. But who made that phone call? I think I'm intrigued in who made that call. Who said, this is Usman Bani, we want you to come to AmaZulu?
I got a call from the president, Ubabzungu. And obviously when I saw that it was him, I was not sure what he was going to talk about. But I had a little bit of, excitement,
Yeah.
When you are being called by a president, though you don't know, but you can guess, but I had a feeling that it was about, the job, So, when he called me, then he told me he didn't waste time. He said, listen, I want to bring you on board. What is your take? I said, you know what? I am definitely, interested, but I'm going to have to do it the right way. If I may ask you maybe to, engage the team, and then we'll take it from there.
So engaging the team as in the hierarchy.
Yes.
From the senior man in charge, the man that you, I think, even put a very emotional letter together to thank him, Ubabu Kezam Taung, because he's seen you as a football player and he's seen you as well as a coach.
Yeah, look, Chairman has always been there for me through thick and thin. I've learned a lot from him. And he believed in me, whenever I had challenges, he would call me in, give me advice, here and there. And I think I owe me a lot. And he was also, open, to me to say, listen, I want you to grow.
Sure.
I want you to be a better person. I want you to be a better coach. I believe in you. I know you'll make it big, in this game of football. So whatever you think right now, if you think it's going to work for you, look, I'm giving you my blessings. And I was more than happy.
Sure. Vivi, I know that you're going to be working now with the man who I think he's attracted to working with Abu Vivi because he was an assistant to another Vivi, Vladimir Vermesovic back in those days. So when you left Richards Bay under the conditions that you left Richards Bay under, and they, brought you in, and it was a case of now leading Usutu as a DDC coach, did you at any stage envisage that today we'll be sitting here together with Duarte and you get this promotion that's probably going to be a life-changing one for you?
Honestly, Rob, I didn't know as to what is it that is going to happen in the future, but obviously I had a few reasons that made me to accept the job at AmaZulu. I had few offers as well, but because the president called me and we had a chat, and he told me about the development structures that needed to be aligned in the club, and I was very much interested because I went through a lot last season. It's just that people are not aware.
Yeah,
it was a very challenging experience for me. I've never been in that situation of making sure that the team survives. I've always been in the teams where the teams were comfortably so in terms of being in the league. But I accepted the job and I trusted the process in terms of making sure that the team survive come end of the season. And indeed, I think with God, we've made it. So a little bit, if I'm being honest, I was disturbed a bit and I needed a break, Rob. I needed a break. And when I was thinking about the situation, I remembered that when I started coaching in the MTC by then. So I wanted to revive or redeem myself in terms of going back to where it started. Maybe I'll get the love, enjoy what I'm doing again, which is something that I did in these past 5 games that I've played in the MTC. So I really enjoyed myself, and I think slowly but surely the love was coming back for coaching because I was really, really disturbed.
It's the VV connection with Tata Zwane. They are the co-coaches at Usuthu Mapeshangwane, which is AmaZulu Football Club. AmaZulu currently finding themselves bottom of the table, having faced defeats though in the opening 3 games. They played against Gallants. They lost that game. They played against Kaizer Chiefs, Tata's former team. They lost that one 3-1. They also played against Polokwane City. They lost that one by 2-1. So whichever way you go, things were starting to become kind of unstuck. Have you been able to learn anything in the past couple of days? I know it's not much. You said you arrived on Friday, so today would have been maybe your first full training with the team?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
I'd say so. I think the person that I'll have to, to thank, is obviously Coach Vivi.
Yeah.
He definitely made my life, very easy. And for the fact that we know each other from, for a very long time now. We've been in the game together. Obviously, we started together in the DTC, and at some point we played against each other again in the, the Premier League. So we've been, talking whenever we came against each other. So we've been the students of the game as well. So I think that is why it's not so difficult for me. I'm actually enjoying at the moment. It's a new challenge. Having someone that close to you, and a person that you believe that will also help you to grow as an individual. So we share a lot in terms of the game. So I'm not that much worried about that part. So I would say I'm settled, to be quite honest. I feel at home.
And I was very impressed, though, by a statement that you made early in your tenure as a co-coach at AmaZulu, saying that you're not somebody, and you figure that Tuvivi is also not somebody who's hungry for power, because immediately when people talk about co-coaching, the same question comes up again and again to say, it's failed at Sundowns, it's failed at Kokone, it's failed at Royal AM. So what are you guys trying to do now when we've seen that it fails? How do you reassure the many Usuthu followers now that this decision that was taken, public and private consultations with the owners of the club, is something that you both believe can work?
First of all, I don't know, what might have happened, in other teams. So I wouldn't, maybe, talk for those people. And I'm not saying this out of what happened in other teams. I'm talking about what I know, about us as coaches. That we know each other very well. And it won't take, a long time for us to be aligned in terms of making sure that we get things right in terms of grinding the results, because we know what is at stake and we have to hit the ground running as soon as possible. So I'm so much comfortable, and with the way he does things, who coach, obviously I'm watching all these teams that he has coached in the past, and even now in the DTC. I've been following him. He's been following me. So we know each other very well. So that is why I'm saying it's not about who's leading. It's not about who's who has done what in the past. It's about AmaZulu right now, and both of us, we know what is at stake, what is important. What is important right now is for us to grind the results, for us to make sure that the team goes back where it belongs.
And no, Vivi, from your side, you just got to look at the records and say you've been down this road before. Somebody that you really cherish and you know very well, Umapudi Kanyeza. You guys have done this before, where you co-coached. You finished 9th on the log table after 30 games. You had 38 points. So that gives me an indication that if there's a meeting of minds, like Kuata keeps saying, that you guys understand each other, played against each other, coached as well at a level that warrants this thing to happen. Why do you believe, though, from your side, that this can work?
Now, fortunate enough for me, Rob, I've been in the co-coaching before, as you are saying, with Uzaza Mapute. So it worked for us. Even when people are counting the co-coaching that didn't work, I don't see our names there, because it did work for us up until I took a decision of leaving the club myself. But in terms of the working relationship, I think the secret behind the co-coaching is the understanding and the chemistry that is needed amongst ourselves. And also, I've got my weaknesses and also strengths. So Ada does that. It does have that as well. So we just need to fit each other in terms of making sure that we have the balance in terms of the working relationship. But with the philosophy, if I may say so, but obviously philosophy is driven by what you have in front of you. So we might have the identity of what we want to see happening, but you find that maybe the personnel doesn't agree. So we need to see the team and look at their strengths and also their weaknesses and try to take out the best out of the situation. But between the two of us, obviously in these few days where we are close now working together, we've seen that we've got similarities. We think alike almost all the time. When we are doing comments, and then you'll find that the coach will say, "Hey, as I was thinking about that." So I think
the similarities are there.
Are there, and I think the puzzle is in front of us, and it is up to us just to make sure that it is completed.
I'm going to direct questions, guys, like we are being interviewed for a job here. So we'll keep it as conversational as possible, because we're getting to the crux of the matter now, where it says, how will people identify that, here, and I can only put it in Zulu, which is Sandla ska Vivi and Sandla ska Zwane, coming together now, because you both like and play and prefer a brand of football that is both exciting, which is expensive, which is good to the eye, but also which provides goals as well. What else can you put onto the table for people to say, guys, this is your signature that you're bringing to AmaZulu?
We bring a lot of experience when it comes to managing the youngsters and the senior players. Which is something that is very, very difficult, for other coaches. I've seen that. So why? Because we've been in the development structures for many, many years, and a lot of coaches, it's difficult to be there, for more than 5 years. So I've been there probably for 9.5 years, if I'm not mistaken. And, Coach Vivi as well. If not 8 years, maybe around 9. So that alone, so you grow. You grow with the game. You get to understand the players much better at a younger age as to how you should manage them, and also how do you now blend them, when they are promoted to the first team, just for them to settle in very, very easy, compared to the senior players who've been there and played for many other teams. So it becomes now a problem sometimes, for many coaches to strike a balance when it comes to that. So now, but once you've been in the development structures, and then you get now a gig like this one that we've got right now in front of us, then it becomes even much easier, because now you know how to manage, senior players. You've been a player yourself. You know how to manage, the youngsters. Once you get that, right, I think there'll always be chemistry and the understanding, because you'll be talking about what you know. But if, as a coach, you start coaching only the senior level, trust me, you'll always find it difficult to deal with the young ones. Because you'll want to treat them the same as the senior players who've been around for some time.
So there's a different treatment that is needed for those youngsters.
Because you manage them,
Yeah.
the younger ones. Then the senior players, they've been there, they've got experience. You also need them to manage these youngsters for you as the coach, so they make your life easy. So you need that, you know. So I think it's a plus for us, for a team of AmaZulu's caliber as well, where you know that you can't go and compete, you know, in the market with the big guns.
Yeah.
I'm not saying AmaZulu is not a big team, but I'm saying obviously financially, you know, they've got all the resources. So here we want to obviously bring back the team, you know, where it belongs, and make sure that the people of KwaZulu-Natal, KwaZulu-Natal again, they love their team and support their team. They come to the stadium, you know, and support the club, and that would be lovely, you know, for everyone. Because sometimes it's not a good thing to see such a good team with so much history, and when AmaZulu plays, and then there's, you know, not a lot of people that are coming to watch games. So obviously, like you said, you're gonna have to play expensive football, but you'll do that gradually. Right now, it's a case of grinding results more than anything else.
Yeah, because geez, your first 2 games, hey, you play against defending champions of the curling knockouts, which is Stellenbosch. Then your first Premier League game is against Orlando Pirates. So we'll get to that in a second. Before I go to, there's a lot of voice notes, guys, that are coming through for both of you. I wanted to just get something straight, though. Your contract with AmaZulu is how many years or how many seasons?
Until the end of the season.
End of the season, which I suppose is the same, because I saw what Mike McCabe was saying, that you've also signed a contract until the end of the season.
Yes, sir.
Is that deliberate, guys? Because if you got a long-term project and the season's already started and you're only signing up until the end of the season, what does that do or not do to you as coaches that want a bigger picture, maybe a bigger slice of the cake, to say, have faith and trust in us, we can take this team somewhere, but not happen in one season because you are not part of their preseason. You know, now you have to come in, make sure they get out of the 16th place, make sure maybe they advance in this curling knockout tournament as well. What's your take on the short contract?
As we are talking right now, we are sitting on 0 point.
Sure.
So I think the focus must be on making sure that we find that first win, which is very important, and it's not going to be easy, as we are saying that after the Carling Cup, we're facing Orlando Pirates away, so it's going to be a difficult one. But I think our focus must be on the season, and we're going to give our best, and then leave other matters to the president in terms of looking at the situation. Obviously, when someone is giving you 1 year, he wants to see if you can do it. So maybe you'll offer us a better contract come end of the season, but we trust the process and believe in the process that we will do well. And we've seen already the signs and the response from the players in terms of making sure that we better the situation at AmaZulu.
Yeah, I mean, AmaZulu has produced in the past, I think, during the Benny McCarthy era, you know, a situation where the team was able to finish second to Mamelodi Sundowns, something that not too many teams can do. It's now with Stellenbosch, it's now with the Orlando Pirates, who've tried to close that gap, but also not forgetting that they were able to go to a Champions League. They were able to play TP Mazembe. They were able to win home and away. You know, not the easiest thing to do, to beat Mazembe away from home. And they were able to do that both home and away. And also the coach then walking away with the coach of the season. So I think there's just a lot that is there, which is exciting as a project for both of you guys. Hey, Andrew. Chris Brown, Chris Impy. That is what we have here. Hey? So, Chris Impy. So which is the one now? Which is that one song that as you drive your troops through the tunnel, through the dugout, that you lead your charges by? I think you need to motivate us here. You know, it's FIFA week. We're not seeing, you know, local teams playing. So, No, I think people need to understand the TikTok, especially in that part of singing. Yes.
That was not actually my voice, but I was miming on top of someone's voice.
Do you want to mime for us quickly?
No, miming.
Pretend that it's TikTok. That is possible, isn't it? There's no way that you. No, there's no way. There's no way. I mean, but you can never determine. Yeah.
Eish, man.
Nazo, ukhulumile coach.
Le ngonya kanti fanele bese sayidinda uyabona ke manje.
This is beautiful.
The co-coaching is not well
Unless ucela duet and you say, okay, co-coaching comes a duet, then, you know.
Yeah? Actually, this singing thing really comes from an early age in the church. But
Yes.
it's not something that I felt with. It's my bread. So I felt with my bread is in football. So I've been singing at church. I
Yes.
still do sing even now if I get a chance to go there.
Well, you've got a chance now.
Angisayi kakhulu ngoba mangena emnyango bangibiza phambili bathi ngizocula bese angisayi.
No, that is why, just to settle this thing.
Ukubonisa ukuthi abantu abangiculisayo ngigcina ngingasayi kubo. So
Uyangithreatenisha manje. Ay. Phela we're not in church. This is a church of sport. And all we're just saying is that we appreciate the voice that comes through. Phela we have followers there on TikTok, and I don't believe what you're saying. I believe that you've been blessed with a very good voice. And all we're asking is just for 30 seconds. Just to...
Mercy, mercy, Lord have mercy on me.
It on us.
Mercy, mercy, Lord have mercy on us.
Nayo. Yeah. That is how we unify co-coaching. When you say on me, then you're leaving the other coach out. So on us means it's a collective thing.
Oh,
I love how this change room is going to be operating, guys. Vivi, beautiful, man. That is a voice and a half, boss. I think about Barry White, they sang until. So if anything somewhere doesn't work out for you in this coaching situation, trust me, about Benjamin Dube, remain there in the forefront of leading things in the gospel sector. So I think you'll always have a space there. A lot of the questions that were asked, I think somehow we had already answered them. I know Chikomde wanted to know and says, we're wishing you well. Maybe one that I can throw to you guys is the recruitment. Are you happy with the players that are there right now? I know FIFA week almost indirectly becomes your shortened preseason, which is not enough time because of the appointment of Coach Zwane now. But are you guys going to the president and saying you need more players? I mean, is your spine okay in terms of the team? What is missing? What have you figured out so far?
I think when you look at the team, you notice that, let alone that the team hasn't been getting results.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean the team, was not playing, okay. Yes, they were playing in patches, which is, the name of the game. But at the end of the day, when you look at the quality of players that are there, yes, maybe at some point, maybe you'll have to, beef up. But the first thing that you have to do when you arrive in a place as a coach, you've got to look at the situation first.
Yeah.
Identify the problem. Why maybe we haven't been scoring goals, why we've been conceding, before you can even look at the players. Then, as soon as you identify the problem, then that's when you can go and maybe to the president and discuss with the management of the team that we need to beef up, maybe come January. But I think we've been discussing about that as well. So for now, obviously, what we have, we are happy with what we have.
Because, just to answer your question on that, the conceding part, I think there's also a mental and psychological problem, an issue with the goalkeeper whose confidence is probably down with mistakes that have happened in recent time. You've only got Igadaro who's been managing to score for the team and nobody else in terms of support. Maybe that is also another problem as well. That's all the time I have. I want to thank both of you guys, and I want to wish you, funny enough, when it happened, after a lot of speculation as to who was going to take over the coaching job at AmaZulu, and your names came up, there was something I visualized in terms of the potential success that lies in both of yours hands. And I want to wish you everything of the best, guys. From the bottom of my heart, knowing both of you individually and also personally and professionally, I think this is the one opportunity that's really open at the right time. So take it with both hands, guys. Run with it. This is an exciting project. AmaZulu is an exciting team. Maybe just one of those that hasn't really quite woken up to the true potential that they really have. And as somebody was saying, Usenzo Hadebe, he says, I mean, does Coach Kanu now want to sign Messi? I heard him calling him. Who says, oh, he was singing Mercy.
Pitch to the podium. Your all-access pass to the world of sport is right here. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets.